Hello, I'm Brady. This is my video on my small interactive animation that I made for ICT in education. The video is about a girl named Pumpkinella who gets overwhelmed in the classroom by noise and her two reaction results on the matter. This was aimed at grade 1s. To help them understand and kind of interact with and get a feel for what it's like to get overwhelmed by sound in a classroom and what are the options that we can do to help a student that is being overwhelmed. In the grade 1 section of the Victorian curriculum under critical and creative thinking, the small animation links in and relates to consider personal reactions to situations or problems and how these reactions may influence your thinking. With this, I've chosen this to link in with my animation because it gets the students to think creatively about their reactions to the video and how they might help the person that is being overwhelmed in their classroom. It also gets them thinking about the people around them and the space that they are in. With my animation is set on a program called Scratch. Scratch is a good website for making small games and animations aimed towards a younger audience around primary school age. It's very good user face for keeping protection of children because they don't actually have to log in to create something. They don't have to log in to view something, and it hides their identity. So they can access this program at home or at school, and it's not going to give people out their personal information, which protects the user. So using the SAMR model, in the second section of augmentation, my animation allows students to interact and view the animation and watch the video instead of reading books about it or getting worksheets, and it gives them a little bit more of an interaction with technology. An interactive story, if you may, because they get options to choose which section they want to choose in the game. Okay, so in the Bloom's taxonomy section of the frameworks that we have been studying, mine goes over the analyze section where the students get to actually analyze the information that they are being given, look into it and get their own ideas and try and work out what they could do to help other students in their classroom and try and understand a student who gets overwhelmed from noise and being inside a classroom. So, the problems I had with learning and using the programs and making the animation. I really didn't like using the program because of the way that when you try to implement and draw sprites and make sprites for the animation, it didn't do it in layers, so it made it hard as a digital artist to try and make comfortable characters that I was really happy with and make them interact correctly, and same with backgrounds. And I had lots of problems with lag and it moving correctly and trying to make it like do what I wanted it to do. I also had lots of problems with the coding and it being so simple, and like in a way that it is simple, and it's really good that it's simple because it helps people who have been introduced to coding. But for me, who did a whole bachelor before this one on coding and animation and the basics, it just made me really frustrated because I knew other ways for it to be coded in a better way. But the simplicity just made me look back on it and look what I could do with it. I think that it's a really good gateway program for younger people and younger students to learn basics in coding and small animations and get their creative minds thinking. And I think it's really good in that way, and it's a good asset to use in that kind of environment. So when it comes to my students in the future and using Scratch and becoming from a user to a producer of their own digital technologies and things, I think Scratch is a good way for them to take it in and actually make their own animations about how they would help someone in a classroom who's being overwhelmed or acting a little different, or how they could adjust that, and making a little video for them to show other kids and encourage them to help their friends. I would take this all in and make sure that I can use the digital tech to help my students and show them that it is okay and what is safe and what is not safe, and show them all the interfaces that come with learning digital technology.